There is power in language. Everything you say that follows the two words I am makes an impact. So I want you to consider how you're speaking to yourself about yourself. So let's just make up a story and pretend that you have a speaking engagement. Do you say, "Oh, I'm so nervous, I'm so anxious"? Or do you say, "I'm excited, what a great opportunity"? I want to encourage you to really pay attention to the language you are using as you talk about how you perceive ideas, how you interact with people, and especially how you feel. How many of us get up in the morning and say, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted"? Guess what? You will be tired and exhausted. What if instead you said, "I have wonderful energy. It's going to be a great day"? Think about the words you're choosing to say to yourself about yourself, and remember there's power in the language you use. Science will back me up on this. Reframing your language helps you create a new response. Your physiological response to anxiety and excitement are exactly the same. The racing heart, the sweaty palms, the butterflies in your stomach. Acknowledging that it's similar can help us embrace this new idea. So instead of dread, it's excitement. We're embracing this opportunity. We know it is positive instead of thinking it's negative. So when you feel that anxiousness, when you feel that little bit of nervousness, reframe it as excitement, reframe it as power, and know that it is just your body's way of responding. A positive mindset makes all the difference in the world. And I want you to think about acknowledging your mindset as a powerful tool to help you. You've heard me talk about taking your inner critic and changing it into an inner champion. That, ladies and gentlemen, requires work every single day. Now, the work gets easier over time, but I want to share with you that it doesn't stop. And I know this from personal experience. I thought at one point, "Oh, I've got this handled." Boy, was I wrong. I know that each and every morning, my routine helps me get a great start, sets me up for success, but it doesn't stop in the morning. It's a daily, sometimes minute by minute conversation. When that critic wants to rear its ugly head and bring me down, I have to remind myself that I am doing what I believe I was meant to do, that I'm working on purpose, and that I can make a positive difference. I need to look back and see the distance I've come and remind myself of all the opportunities that lay ahead. The questions I ask myself often are, if not now, when? And if not you, who? In other words, I have to take action, and it's going to be up to me. I can't just kick back and expect that it's going to suddenly magically happen. I have to be focused, and I have to be productive, and I need to take the steps every day to create the business and, quite frankly, the life of my dreams. Because for me, it is a lifestyle. Maybe that's not what you're after, but in fact, I believe it is, because it's about how we live. It's our lifestyle. Think about reframing in your negative thinking into positive. Instead of why did this happen to me? It's why did it happen for me? How can I take this situation, if I'm perceiving that it's negative, and flip it on its head and turn it into a positive? What can I learn? What opportunity is there for growth? You've heard the saying, if you're not growing, you're dying. And that is so true. Every experience we have has a seed or a kernel of learning. Sometimes we have to dig really deep to find that seed or that kernel, however you want to look at it, it doesn't matter. You want to be able to switch it up and think of it as a learning opportunity, not something that is terrible or awful or happened to you and didn't happen to anybody else. Everyone has challenges. We need to learn to make the best of them. And there are hundreds of thousands of examples of people who've been through terrible, terrible atrocities and come out on the other side in a positive way. So Google that. Do a Google search if you need some inspiration. And the last thing I want you to think about is we can take control over our mindset. One of the first books I ever read on self-help books, if you will, was a Zig Ziglar, See You at the Top. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. And here's what the cover says. See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar. The how-to book gives you a checkup from the neck up. I think we need that checkup from the neck up daily to eliminate what Zig called stinking thinking and avoid hardening of the attitudes. Now, at the very top of the book, it says don't miss page 15. So what's on page 15? I just love this. The end, it says, perhaps an unusual way to start a book, but it is an unusual book. And if you've not read it, I want to encourage you to do so. It's about you, your family, your future, and how you can get more out of all of them by giving more to each of them. So it's not about what we get, but it is about what we give. We believe that this is the end, or at least the beginning of the end, of negative thinking, negative action, and negative reaction, the end of defeatism and despondency, the end of settling for less than you deserve to have and are capable of attaining, the end of being influenced by little people with their little minds thinking little thoughts about trivia that is the stock and trade of Mr. and Mrs. Mediocrity. In short, it is the end for you of the world's most deadly disease, hardening of the attitudes. Welcome to the richer life. There's so many more things that I could go on about this book, but my message today is begin the process of reframing first by paying attention to the language you're using and the words that follow I am. I want to challenge you this week to think about putting those in a positive way as opposed to negative. And of course, if you know someone that could benefit from this video, please feel free to share it and be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the weekly content. See you next time.